Well, hello there. Oh, depending on when you're watching this video, this is like my third. I like to batch record my videos. This is my third one, so I think I'm a little silly today. Anyway, if you're coming off of my last video where I talked about what body recomposition is, what bulking is, what cutting is, how to assess those, all that good stuff, in that video I promised that I would talk about the nutritional aspect. So if you're coming from that video, it's my promise to you. And if you're seeing this video, then check out the other one as well so that you understand where I was coming from and where we're going. So in this video, we're going to talk about what the calories and what the diet should look like to support a bulking phase, a cutting phase, and a body recomposition phase. So let's get into that video.
Cerebral flow in my head I go. Try reach me no, but my cell line slow. I keep it low, it's like where I go. Try teach me how, but I said I know. People know me like you like hope, and I need to know premise when I show. I collect my dough, do my thing and go.
Let's start with bulking. Again, if you came from my previous video, you already know I'm a fan of clean bulking. So that is just what I'm going to talk about. And when we're in a bulking phase, we want to be in a calorie surplus, meaning we're eating more calories than we burn. How do you know how much you burn? Well, you're going to need to do some before work. So if you go to a gym that has one of those fancy little bioelectrical impedance scales that will give you the breakdown of how much muscle mass you have, how much body fat mass you have, what your metabolism is, take advantage of that. Do it one time, get it printed out, use that as your guide. If you don't have one of those, you might have to do a little bit of your own work to figure out how many calories you burn at rest. Okay, calculate this online. While they're not always the most accurate, they do give you a good idea. So we can start there because fitness is all a journey and it changes. So this will just give you a good place to start. Now, once you get your basal metabolic rate, let's just say for easy math, this is not realistic, but for easy math, you burn 1,000 calories at rest. Meaning if you laid in bed all day long and did nothing else with your life, you would burn 1,000 calories just to keep you alive, okay? So we take that number, but then you do get up and then you do stuff. You're walking around, you're talking, you're pacing, you're cooking, you're working, you're doing all this stuff. You're burning calories when you're doing that. And then you're eating food. You're burning calories when you're doing that. And then you're actually going to work out. Maybe you spend an hour doing, your own workout or some little HIIT class or whatever. So if we take all the calories you burn from those categories, and let's say you burn an additional 500 calories. So now we're taking our 1,000 calories at rest, our 500 calories from all that good stuff. We call that NEAT. It's an acronym. Put that together, you have burned 1,500 calories today. Well, you need to eat more than that to be in a calorie surplus to actually gain weight. How much more? How fast do you want to gain this weight? Safely, we can probably gain a couple pounds a week. So you could push for eating 500 to 600 calories more than that. So that would look like you eating about 2,000 calories a day. And then we're going to need to track this. So that means if you did that bioelectrical impedance analysis and you saw what your muscle mass and body fat mass was, and then you do it again, you can see how your new one compares to your last one. If we are gaining muscle, we're in a good place. If we are gaining body fat and you wanted to gain body fat, we're in a good place. However, if nothing has moved, or even worse, reverse, that means we need to check in. We need to either be eating more or we need to be having a better workout plan, okay? And then what does the diet look like on a clean bulk? Protein, protein, protein. Lean proteins. We want our ground turkeys. We want our chicken breasts. We want our fish. We want our Greek yogurt. We want our lentils. We want chia seeds. We want hemp seeds. We want all these things that are going to nourish our body in a healthy way, but that aren't going to put us too many calories into our body unless we can afford it. And when you can afford it, that means you can afford things like a little extra olive oil. Maybe you can put a little more cheese. Maybe you can eat a little more nuts. So we're still eating good stuff. We can just eat more of it. You understand what I mean? Protein, okay? And then we can also add in a protein powder because, again, a lot of times we can find it to be a little challenging hitting our protein goals. So if you're in that category, you got that busy life, don't really have time to do all this meal prep, then invest in you a good high quality protein shake and take that every day as well to give you an extra boost of protein. Once we have that, then we can fill it in with fiber. What is fiber? Vegetables. All vegetables. And then you can sprinkle in some of the root vegetables or the starchy vegetables like corn, potatoes, things like that. So yeah, fruits our vegetables, whole grains, whole grain bread, a whole grain oatmeal, wherever we can get grains from, we want to eat that. And then we can add in our seeds and things like that. So that can also add some more fiber to our body. So we definitely want to prioritize both of those. And then we can add in other things when we have extra calories to give. So what I mean by that is once you have eaten all the protein and all the fiber that you needed for the day, now you can use your other calories for the snacks, for the oils, for the cheeses, the dairies, things like that. Not saying don't eat those. I'm just saying prioritize protein and fiber first. This way we can keep at a lower risk of putting on all body fat. Because imagine you do that scan next month and all you gained was body fat. So that means something was wrong there. So we have to assess every month to make sure that we are staying on track. And another reason is because as you are gaining weight, your metabolism is going to grow as well, right? So when you put on muscle, metabolism goes up as well. So that means now you're going to probably have to start eating a little bit more. Because as you're getting bigger, the calories your body needs gets bigger as well. So to sum it up, you want to eat 500 calories more than the calories you burn in a day by eating good quality proteins and foods. Don't forget, you also have to have a proper exercise plan in order for you to put on muscle. That's how we gain muscle. Proper nutrition, but also proper exercise. Let's talk about cutting. Cutting is the opposite. So 1,000 calories at rest, 500 calories doing all the stuff, 1,500 calories you burn a day. You want to lose weight, you got to eat less than that. How much less? How much do you want to lose? Healthily, a pound a week. What does that look like? About a 500 deficit. That means you would need to eat 1,000 calories a day. Again, if you remember earlier in the video, I said this is not a realistic example, okay? I don't believe, I'm not going to say no one, but most adults burn more than 1,000 calories a day at rest, okay? So this is an unrealistic example, which is for math. So that would mean you would just need to eat pretty much your basal metabolic rate. You would just need to eat 1,000 calories a day in order to lose weight. But again, you still got to eat, because there's always this question of, well, if I don't eat anything, I should be losing weight. No, that's not how your body works, unfortunately, because your body does not want you to die. Your body cares about you. So if you're too much in a deficit, your body is just going to hold on to fat. It's not going to move anywhere. Then you're going to be stuck in this plateau. So you do want to eat. What things do you need to eat? The same thing the bulker is eating, but less. I still want you eating lean proteins. I still want you eating fiber. I still want you to have a nice little snack or a piece of cheese or the things that you like. We just have to make sure that we're properly planning so that we are satiated and we're not overeating. And then again, when you redo your body scan or whatever method you were using to track your body fat and muscle mass, and if you notice that you're, 1, not losing weight, 2, actually gaining weight, or even worse, 3, losing muscle, that means something needs to adjust. If you're losing muscle, you need to eat more protein and readjust your workout program. If you are gaining weight, you're eating too many calories. So we got to give something back. Maybe you think that you're under eating, but it's showing that you're not. Maybe your metabolism is a little slower than you thought. So that's why we have to adjust. Okay, so that's how we can utilize that information to ensure that we are properly eating. Okay, now body recomposition, that's the most difficult one, because like I said in the previous video, how do you be in a calorie surplus and a calorie deficit at the same time? So what someone that was trying to body recomp it would do is take whatever they're eating, because building the muscle mass is usually the most difficult part. So instead of being I always recommend that people that want to do a body recomp, meaning they want to put on muscle mass while losing body fat mass, eat a little more than their calorie expenditure. So what that looks like is, going back to our example of 1,000 calories at rest, 500 calories working out, so 1,500 calories. I would have that person eating like 1,600 calories, maybe even 1,700 calories, because we do want to gain our muscle, but it's such a small surplus that we can still target our body fat if we are eating properly. So that person is actually going to need to consume the most protein of all three of these categories. So their primary source of fuel is going to need to be protein, because we really want to fuel our muscle. But other than that, it's going to look the same: protein, fiber, and a little less on the high caloric snacks and foods and things like that. The main thing for this style is going to reside in the type of exercise, because you want to be burning, but you don't want to be burning too much. So again, it's a little harder, for a reason. So and this is why it takes a little longer. So for these people, every month things might just look like half a pound off, but we're going to consistently have to adjust. So as long as in every scan that we're doing, we are seeing body fat come down a little bit, and muscle mass, if anything, at least just staying where it's at, we're in a good spot, okay? So there you have it. That is what the calories should look like if you're bulking, if you're cutting, or if you're in a body recomposition. And while body recomposition is hard, it is not impossible, okay? It just takes a little more work up front. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. The knowledge we gain is powerful, but it's the knowledge we share that makes a difference. So share this video with someone that needs a little clarification on this topic. I'll catch you in my next video. As always, don't forget to crush it.